Hello, hello. It's me. It's G. And we are back discussing astrology. Yep. What did you think? Right? We're touching on a topic that is directly inspired from a comment I got from a subscriber under the channel here. And I love this comment because it brought back memories. It brought back kind of like the beginnings of when I started to kind of research and do a little bit more deeper diving into astrology. And so I'm going to read the viewer's comment. And so here we are, another episode of I Got a Question. And maybe it wasn't a question, but we're gonna frame it as a question, okay? Yeah, if my phone would let me look at my comments, I'd be happy. So here we go. I'm sorry. Hold on. You know how you think you got it all? Here it is. I'm like, I just had this, damn it. But then you get, anyway. The question is, oh, gosh, my prenatal solar eclipse is at 18 degrees Taurus in the 12th house. And the emoji is, so, first of all, there's not a question in there, but it sparks questions, doesn't it? We always, you always hear me talk about eclipses. Have you ever heard me use the term prenatal eclipse? Prenatal eclipses, right? So if you haven't, and I honestly don't think I've recorded any video using those words. We always talk about our eclipses and we talk about, the moon and the moon's nodes and, the north node, the south node, and all that stuff. And it is all, of course, tied together because eclipses are about, the moon and then lunar cycles. So in this comment, if you don't know what a prenatal solar eclipse is, we're like, wait a minute, we have to start at ground zero. What the hell is that, right? So there is a thing also, if you can have a prenatal solar eclipse, can you have a prenatal lunar eclipse? Well, sure. Why the hell not, right? Absolutely. God, I hope we're recording. I think we're recording. Why do I think we're not? Okay, we're recording. My bad. So let's take this inspiring question. And by the way, viewer, you know who you are. Thank you so much. I love, you guys just don't know. There is so much to talk about with astrology. It's a never-ending topic. I can go to the minutia. I can go expansive. It's just like, wow, I can go anywhere. Your questions, your curiosity, your concerns, those are the things that tell me, okay, this is a good topic. This is a question that likely a lot of other people have, or we're bringing up a topic that maybe some are not aware of, right? And so this topic would not leave me alone. I did do my mom's medicine call in the morning, and it was just like, anyway, that comment wouldn't leave my brain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit of something, and we kind of have to talk about this, and it is reincarnation. The word reincarnation, right? So eclipses, reincarnation. What does one have to do with the other? How do we tie this all together? And how do we tie it together? And does it all matter? Like, why does this matter? Okay. So I'm going to try to do this in a short, brief way. I'm telling myself this as I'm doing this. So a belief in reincarnation, your soul having previously experienced life in a physical body other than the current one, is not necessary in order to obtain full value of the process of maybe I've been somewhere, maybe I have this knowledge, and then can I learn from it? Can I do something with it, right? However, you must have an openness to the possibility of permanently transcending old limiting mental states and conditions. This is necessary for receiving the full impact of change and freedoms that are possible from those changes. Such terms as past incarnations, previous lifetimes, they are used, and such phrases may be interpreted to mean a prior experience in other bodies or prior realities experienced in the current body, such as experiences in early childhood with parents or siblings, or the unconscious memories of adolescence in dealing with peers and relationships, puberty, and so forth. A third interpretation is that of the experiences of early childhood or merely a reincarnation of individual patterns and habitual responses active from other lifetimes, or whatever, however that works in your brain, memory, soul memory, right? That's my favorite term, soul history. So it's brought into the current incarnation for further growth and resolution. Any of these viewpoints will work. It depends on your belief system. The main idea is to be willing to take responsibility for mastering the lessons that you currently need to work through and to resolve to create a happy life for yourself. Now, the eclipses. That's a preface, right? We mentioned the reincarnations on a Starry Night Live one night, and whether we didn't. I don't think we used the word reincarnation, but past lives even we used, right? So the point of all of that is to say there are patterns, there are reoccurring themes that happen, and points in our chart, eclipses, those cycles, they're reoccurring themes, right? And so we have a reoccurring theme coming up. And I'll get to that and I'll tie it in because there's already a video series that's begun. Matter of fact, there's already a video up on the channel that talks about Jupiter, the Jupiter journey, the Jupiter retrograde, and the significance of the Jupiter retrograde in a particular degree, right? Or degrees. But let's get to this. Let's weave in this comment, this question about prenatal stuff, eclipses, solar and lunar, right? So here's another description, okay? At birth. Oh, how about I back up? I'm sorry. Before birth, prenatal. Before birth, sometimes between conception and the first breath of life, there were at least 2 eclipses, one solar and one lunar. These prenatal eclipses have a profound influence on the unborn child, and it sets an energy pattern that is dispensed during these eclipses that follow you for the rest of your life. I might have read that wrong. And the energy pattern dispensed during these eclipses follows you the rest of your life. So at birth, the energy of both the prenatal solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse enter the body. By knowing the sign of the eclipses preceding your birth, you can identify the covenant you made with the universe in exchange for the privilege of having a body and being on the planet. So you can take this on whatever level you want, with whatever serious. This is just the opinion of this author, right? So I'm just reading, and we're gleaning from this knowledge what we can take from it and move forward and use in our lives, okay? The sign of your solar eclipse shows a universal destiny. It is the energy of the collective unconsciousness that needs to be actively expressed on Earth at that time for its own balance. The souls born into each solar eclipse have been infused with that energy and have promised to spread it on Earth to help with the planet's growth and evolution. Thus, the solar eclipse that precedes your birth reveals the energy that the universe has invested in you and that you have promised to share during your travels on Earth. The solar eclipse energy is what you are here to clarify for the collective whole. You must share that energy as you promised in your covenant with the universe. Your only choice lies in whether you share your gift in a positive or a negative way. Aha. You can go about your life generously sharing this gift with your fellow beings, or you can teach them what not to do by having such a negative trait in your behavior and personality that those around you learn what to avoid. Aha, the big aha for many of us, right? Holy crap. If you do choose to teach these lessons in a negative manner, you are creating an imbalance within your own life, and it makes learning your life lessons possibly more difficult than necessary. Okay, so getting back to that question, that comment about a viewer who obviously understood about the prenatal eclipses, knows where the prenatal eclipse was before their birth. So we're going to pull that chart up to give you guys an example real quick. Okay. And then, oh, and then you let me know in the comments if this is something you want to know more about or that you need to know about in your own chart. You let me know, and then we'll do a video on how to figure this out and also the meaning, the deeper dive meaning. This person says they have it at 18 degrees Taurus in the 12th house. Interesting. And they're saying it's their solar eclipse, which means this was the solar eclipse that happened before their birth. Obviously, there are many solar eclipses that would happen before one's birth, but is the most recent one prior to your birth, a prenatal solar eclipse. So this person says it's at 18. And look at that. Not only is it at 18, because this person knows this in advance, it's not shown on the chart because this is the chart of the birth, the chart of the moment that they were born. Prenatal means it's before they were born, right? But because they used an ephemeris and they were able to look that up, they figured out what the previous eclipse was before their birth. And they were looking specifically for the solar one. I will add, you also want to look for the lunar one. Okay. This person knows that it's at 18. So since their 12th house cusp line begins, right? Because that house cusp line begins at 17, you see, Taurus 1737. I'm putting my line a little bit after to represent 18 degrees of Taurus. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, it's a big deal because that Taurus energy is the energy they were infused with, right? And you heard about the whole, how can you be infused with something before you're born? And so that was the whole, preface of the past lives or reincarnations or whatnot and whatever, or soul history, soul memory, and understanding the value. Because we're talking about Taurus, like what does that mean anyway? So in this person's chart, it's hidden values because it's 12th house. And we have to understand also, it's a very big deal for this person because that prenatal eclipse is conjunct their 12th house cusp line. So it's hidden values, but also hidden desires for sure. Taurus energy, Venus, all about desires. So this can be beauty, this can be love, this can be money, this can be beautiful things and people. This can be desire and sensuality. Absolutely. It's Taurus. So it's like fixations, possibly even attachments, Taurus energy. It wants the good stuff. It wants to feel good, look good, things that taste good. Food is a big deal with Taurus energy. Being in the 12th house, there can be substance issues, but it's addictive as hell. As a Taurus with 12th house stuff, Taurus is already about, I can set patterns because I create attachments very easily. I can create habits very easy. Pisces, 12th house, can be very much about, I need to escape. How do you escape? Some people might use movies to escape, sound. Some people might use substances, right? Because these are all 12th house keywords, right? So the big deal for this person when they were like, oh my gosh, something is at 18, they understood that even though their natal birth chart doesn't show anything from their prenatal eclipse, they knew in their mind, And so my advice or my recommendation or what I am sharing here today is that those eclipses, the prenatal solar and the prenatal lunar, okay, I would mark on my chart as well. And I'm going to be real with you. I haven't kept track in my chart of my prenatal lunar and my prenatal solar, but I will from this point on. I will be sure to mark it and to have it there so that I can keep track and to see if it demonstrates, to see what happens. Or possibly, I haven't even looked it up. I just went right to making this video. I might actually have something there like this person does. They have, it's conjunct their 12th house cusp line, right? So anytime an eclipse occurs, or not even an eclipse, but Jupiter, right? Jupiter is going to be transiting through here, right? Jupiter is going to be doing its retrograde in Taurus, but then it goes forward again and it will be hitting the 17 and the 18 degrees for this person. And so Jupiter will expand upon those meanings. Jupiter is typically good and beneficial, right? So the question is Jupiter the greater benefic in your chart, or is Venus? And that will be a video for another time. Hope you enjoyed. You got any questions? Comment below. Thank you for your time. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.